done that, we'll work on it and we'll deal with it and we will move forward.
Hey, we are streaming.
I think we are live.
Okay.
So we can start.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah, got the.
This is Joel with IOD Nations. We apologize for the delays. Somebody's going to need to help Deborah out.
Yeah, I'm trying. Okay. All right. So I just admitted Deborah here. Hey, Deborah. Can you hear us, Deborah?
Okay, we live? Okay.
Yes, we are live.
Get that off.
Hey, Gil, how are you? We made it. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Joel.
So sorry about the delays, guys. It's going to be worth it. We're going to have a good show today.
Sounds good to me.
What's up, Lost? Hey, Ruth, how are you? Welcome. We're just gonna sort of sit here and welcome some people in. Jenny, good evening. Glad to have you back again. You're gonna see some cool stuff today. We're pretty stoked. Right back at you, Gil. Ashfaq has been doing some work, man. And everybody give a little bit of love to Draco. He's probably a little stressed out right now because the weather messed things up. Greg, Trajectory, welcome. Glad to see you here, man. You're going to see some good stuff today. We're really, really happy to have you here, okay? Yeah, technology. Sarah, if you think technology is like that for you, try being an old fart who doesn't know how to use it.
Okay, I think we should hey, Sarah, if you can hear us, please come join us. We would love to hear from you. Okay, I can see Jenny said, sad news, Trump has announced the ceasefire has failed.
Oh my God, parents and technology. I can only imagine the stories that young people tell. That is just too good. Hey, Sarah, you're going to be stoked when you see what Ashfaq created. This is like you can start to touch and feel what we're working on. It's pretty damn cool. So Gemini, Jim, we're just waiting for the crowd to sort of roll in. It normally takes us about 5 to 10 minutes after we get going, where we get people sharing links and stuff like that. So
hey,
you're
so
at.
while we're waiting, we can actually share the video Rakesh made to set up the.
I want to share it when we have a few more people here to see it. Otherwise, I don't think we get much out of it. Darlene, Verna, welcome here. You're at iodnations.org. That's International Online Democratic Nations. We promote online citizen-led democracy in ways that if you haven't been here before, you probably haven't imagined. So bear with us. We've got some weather and technology issues that have held us up a bit. And then it does always take us a little while to get rolling and get some people in here. Jill, okay. Thank you. Where are you from, Jill? Everybody, just so you know, you've got, when you look up on your feeds, you have Rakesh. Ashfaq is Ayad Nations, where you can see his handsome face, and then
Yeah.
the ugly guy who's hiding back there, who's doing all the work today, is Draco. We call him AOP, our Agent of Peace. So he's doing good stuff back there to make all this stuff happen. These guys are busting their butt, and then you've got former New York Assemblywoman Deborah Mazzarelli, and she is really leading the online Democratic women's movement part of this. So yeah, she's going to come in and tell you a little bit about what they're working on and how things are going. But again, we're going to wait until we get some more people in here. So we thank you for being here. Sent the email with petition and cover emails. Jill, do me well, let's do this, Jill, because actually the guts of today's show is really going to be about how to submit a petition and emails, and the work that Ashfaq did is directly geared towards that. It's geared towards giving you a way that you can submit it, and we can get some really quick eyes on it. And you'll see. I think you'll really like it, and I think you'll understand where we are in the process. Jenny, I go back, and now you're starting to live in my world. Okay, so whenever I watch the news, I think about what would happen if there were a million or a couple of million citizens who were already united online democratically, and the way that we could use our power and influence to influence what's happening right now. It's just, sometimes it's really hard to watch what's going on and to know that we could be really impacting these things in a positive way. But that is where we are, and we're here to make sure that we can impact them in a positive way as soon as possible. So do you guys know, do we have who is out there sharing our links right now? Are we doing our normal stuff? Do we feel like we'll be getting the crowd rolling in like we normally do to some extent?
Yes, so I am actually doing some of that. I believe Rakesh Bro is doing part of it.
Yeah, I'm also trying to share a link, but my internet is slow, so it will take a bit time.
Okay, so we might run a little bit behind. Hey, Dennis, I've seen your name a couple of times, haven't we? I'm almost certain. I don't know if we've ever interacted with you, but wait till you see what Ashfaq has been working on. It's really going to it's really going to show you what the beginnings of online citizen-led democracy can look like and what we're capable of accomplishing, just as this amazing but ragtag small group that we have here. We're gonna make some damn noise, I'll tell you that, and it's gonna be good noise. Well, Jenny, I understand your feelings. I actually think that Trump is being influenced as much by China and Russia as he is by the inner circle of child molesters and right-wing extremists. We don't have a direct contact there. Jenny, I need to reach out to Dave, who has worked with us. And he's been doing some more direct work or he was going to, he wants to try and integrate an online platform in Florida is what he's shooting for. Kiki, good to see you here.
So I want to introduce.
Thanks for being here.
We have.
What's that?
We have two new guests. Patricia, welcome. Lavandula, welcome. If you can hear us, you can unmute yourself and come out and talk to us if you are interested. I mean, no pressure at all.
Hey, Kiki, before we bring them in, Kiki, just so you know, if you get stuck at work or you can't jump in, we're going to be talking about Ashfaq has put together the beginnings of this platform where people can actually register. They can share the ideas that they're promoting, the campaigns that they want. And so if something happens and you have to back out of this, there's going to be some it's really cool. So hopefully you'll like it. And anyone who's here, if you visit the platform, first of all, just understand it's very raw. It's very new right now, but we're also open to input or ideas. Just realize we have some limited capabilities, but we do want to get it started and get it working. So we're always open to input on that. Vicky, you've been here before too, haven't you? I think so. We're up to 26. I'm going to probably hang until we get about 30 or 35
we
people
have some
here.
people who joined us.
Oh, yeah.
In Zoom.
Pat's been here before. Hi, Pat. Welcome back.
Sorry.
Hello.
Nice to have you.
Yeah, it's just you.
How are you doing today?
Well, I'm waiting for my car to be finished, worked on, so I'll see how long I can last. Okay.
No worries at all. Hey, Karma, glad you could make it. Wait till you see the work that Ashfaq has done on the platform. I think you're going to enjoy and appreciate it. Lavandula, would you like to come in and talk to us or introduce yourself or tell us anything about how you got here? We would love to hear from you if you're interested. You can even teach me how to pronounce your name right.
Oh. No.
All right, let's actually hear. Oh, okay. I can see Lavandula is here. Hello.
No,
welcome.
I'm sorry. I'm kind of like not able to participate. I'm just listening in.
Okay, no worries at all.
Yeah.
We're glad to have you here.
Thank you.
No worries. Have you been here before?
No, actually, this is my first time.
Okay. So did you hear my little brief introduction about IOD Nations, International Online Citizen-Led Democracy?
Actually, no, I didn't hear that part.
So we are iodnations.org. That stands for International Online Democratic Nations. And it's a concept that I've been working with. To give you an idea, the face that you see up on the screen, Deborah Mazzarelli, she's a former New York State Assemblywoman, and she's kind of leading the women's group part of this. And so their idea is to unite online and create ultimately an international and national online democratic woman's nation or nations. And that's the general concept, is that any group can unite online and become a power and force for freedom and democracy within the world. And we're going to make it happen. And we're going to discuss different ways. Go ahead.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. I feel, well, I think that, you know, when a group or a collective has a common cause or purpose, it's amazing to get together. There's so much more impact you can create, and the way you build things can be more effective.
Yeah, this is going to be cool to see what you think when we roll it out. You know, I came up with this little formula. I say N plus C equals D. And that means numbers plus collaboration equals democracy. So democracy it's that simple. It's 1 plus 2. It's how many people do you have and how well do they collaborate to promote freedom and democracy. And that determines how healthy and vibrant your democracy is. And then if you take democracy, D equals WP. So democracy equals women's power. So the societies in the world, the societies throughout history where women have had the most power and influence have been democratic or at least shared power and influence in some ways. And the internet makes this possible in ways that were never possible before. And so that's what we're here to promote, and we're glad to have you.
Thank you. And it would be also interesting to know what would be their some of the goals. I also think that that formula maybe needs another letter added, diversity. So depending on the topic, you know, that not depending, but diversity always helps to make things more creative and effective.
So that's so cool that you said that, because here's the part of that, right? So when I imagined all of this, I come from a bunch of different backgrounds, but one of the backgrounds I come from is banking. And in banking, you always have compounding interest, right? Where it builds upon itself. And that when you describe that about diversity, I think that one of the first online democratic nations that we need to see would be the International Online Democratic BIPOC Nation, where, you know, Black, Indigenous, and people of color, or, you know, all of those diverse groups can represent themselves under their own democratic umbrella, their own democratic nation. But the amazing part is then you could be a citizen or a leader in that nation, and also in the women's nation, and maybe in the art nation or the climate nation. And what it does, like interest compounds, it compounds your individual power and influence by uniting these democratic groups. And so it was, and another point on that, Deborah made a comment today when we were talking before the meeting, and she mentioned, you know, you know, we're trying to do this outreach to different groups and different people, and she mentioned a small group. Deborah, was it, you said, what group of men was it? How did you refer to them?
Uh-oh. I'm sorry. Oh my goodness, you put me on the spot here. I don't know, how did I refer to them? Joel, listen,
You
I
said
couldn't send
something
me one
about
yesterday. I don't remember. Oh my God.
you said you said something about, I think it was single fathers who might be
Oh,
unrepresented,
yes,
or
yes, yes. Okay, you know, because everybody thinks big issues, we're thinking healthcare, women's rights, voting rights. As a former elected official, there are many groups that you don't think about because you might not have ever heard of them. There's a group of fathers who are very upset in the United States about the way they don't have any rights to their children. So they started a fathers' rights group, but there were only about 20 people in the entire group for Long Island. So this would have been a platform they might have used. There's many groups that are out there that no one knows about. This is an excellent platform because you don't have to meet, you can be across the country and still join the issue. You don't have to be next to each other or in the same room. So I think one of the greatest advantages of international online democracy is the fact that you can gather so many voices, make such an impact locally, statewide, nationwide, internationally, with voices from all over. So I just thought that it's nice the way you led into that, but I just thought it was important for people to understand that we're not in competition with anyone, first of all. This is one of the greatest things about Joel's program, is that we've invited so many different authors from Substack and people from our own organizations that we belong to join. So because we know everyone's interested in democracy, the women right now that we've created the Women's Campaign for is lobbying for the release of the Epstein files. That's our first issue because we see it as a main issue. So the women that have joined are focused on getting the release of the Epstein files because we believe the survivors really should be listened to. And we want the co-conspirators, anybody that's involved with the sex trafficking and child raping, to be held accountable. And we want our government to be held accountable because they've covered it up for so long. So that's our objective right now and our main focus. And we invite everyone, men, women, anybody who's interested in seeing the release of the Epstein files, which Todd Blanche has sworn they're never going to be open to us again, and there's still 3 million of them out there. Join the fight. I do a Suffragette Saturday show at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time that I welcome everyone to participate in. Ashfa puts the link up on the iodnations.org Substack. And if you can go there for the link, or my Substack, which is just Assemblywoman Deborah Mazzarelli, join us at 2 because we commiserate, but we also work. We currently are sending emails to all the attorneys that are involved with the Epstein survivors because we know Congress isn't listening. If Congress was listening, they would have seen all of the people at the protests and actually gone into session and done something. They wouldn't be on vacation for 2 weeks while we're in the middle of a war. Oh, by the way, hallelujah, everyone. We're all still here. Thank you, God. I'm so glad that Trump has finally come to his senses. So hallelujah, because it was my birthday yesterday, and I thought that was going to be the end of the world on my 71st birthday. Goodbye. So don't mind me. I'm a little bit excited at the fact that Taco Trump is really Taco Trump, and they better get their asses in gear, our congressmen, fulfill their oath and impeach this son of a gun, get him out of there before something bad really, really happens. I'm sorry. So, I'm not supposed to editorialize. No. But anyway.
No, you're supposed to, but I wanted to tell you, Deborah, so I was at a friend's house last night and we were sitting there just talking about stuff. And I looked at him and I said, do you realize that I now live in a world where if I watched the news this evening and I saw an announcement that the United States had dropped a nuclear bomb on Iran, I wouldn't be surprised. It's like I don't want it to happen, and I think it would be horrible, but we're in this crazy world right now where I wouldn't be surprised if we dropped a nuclear bomb
Well, we are a disgrace. I'm telling you, we are a disgrace to the world. I am ashamed of what Trump has done. And the fact that he has not, I mean, did you see all the women who surrounded the bridges and the electrical plants in Iran?
Yes.
To remind him, it's about people. It's not about structures. It's how can you even think of abolishing people? It's just, my heart is broken that we have such a a horrible leadership. The regime has to go. We need to bring kindness back and joy and peace. We can't have this kind of leadership in America. I know no one voted for this. If they knew what he was in 2016, he never would have been elected. I believe that Americans are good people. I don't believe that anybody wants war. I think that we've lived through forever wars in the past and recognize how important it is to preserve life, not encourage death and murder and bombings and fires and spend more money on the military and ICE and oh, the nation, the moral fiber of our nation is being destroyed. I just
Well,
want to
we're
see
going to
it stop.
change that, aren't we?
Yes, we are. We are changing it. The women that are involved in the online women's democracy movement are moving. I mean, they are moving. They are ready to go. We are doing our emails. They have so many different ideas that they want to institute. It's an amazing progress that we've made. We've had great meetings, and what a great way to make friends. And again, restore kindness and caring about each other, compassion. It's a great feeling. Monday, after speaking with some of the ladies from the online Democratic Nation, I felt so good. I was so relieved. And then last night I couldn't sleep. So anyway, we're having a good time, as well as promoting democracy, accountability, diversity, justice, you name it, we're encouraging it. If it's good, we're encouraging it. I don't mean to ever offend anyone, and I must have offended someone last week, and I'm going to publicly apologize to all men, because my Substack is mainly men. I don't know why, but mainly men. Maybe because most of my issues are political. But I offended someone last week, and I apologize to them, because all men are welcome to join Suffragette Saturday, and they're welcome to join our group of women promoting diversity, the Epstein file release, and everything else that we're going to be addressing. So please accept my apologies in advance. If I ever offend anyone, please let me know personally. I try my hardest to be kind. And to me, honesty is the best policy. So just tell me what's going on.
Okay.
And that's it. Thank you very much, Joel. And I'm going to hand the meeting back over to you, because it's your show today.
Thank you very much, Deborah, and we're damn happy to have you here, okay?
Joel, can I
Thank
take a moment to welcome
And then
Thank
he
and somebody?
Thank you.
alluded that the rescue of the pilot was because of boots on the ground.
Okay.
What?
Who was
Boots
that?
on the ground. Do you know what that means?
Yeah.
The rescue of
Oh.
the pilot
Hey, I
is
can see
because
somebody
we
joined
put
in.
boots on the ground.
Oh, bullshit.
Whereas he said before there were.
So sorry.
It's okay.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
So
hang on, hang
here's
on. We have Jill. Hey, Jill, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being so engaged in the chats and being here. You can unmute yourself and talk to us if you want, but no pressure. You can just listen to us if you want.
I'm gonna, Jill, right before you talk, I just want to say a brief something to everyone who's come in, because we've had about 25 people come in, and I want them to just have a little taste of what we're doing here. If you don't know, you are in the live chat for iodnations.org. That's International Online Democratic Nations.org. Our objective is to empower and organize pro-democracy citizens across the whole world to unite online democratically. Now, in a moment, we allow anyone to come in and be a part of the group, but we're gonna let Jill come in, and we're gonna kind of button up the comments, and we're gonna go into our agenda. But what we do that's different from any other live feed is we give you the opportunity to engage what we're doing that's actual tactics and strategies right now are email campaigns. So when you come into this live chat, you can ask to be involved in those email campaigns. You can even ask to be a part of driving or creating those email campaigns. And we want people to leave here today knowing that you actually accomplish something. We're not here to just talk. We're here to get some things done. And nobody else is doing that. I went through 50 live feeds the other day in Substack, and not one other person, they would tell us we need to unite. They would tell us we need to do things, but they're not actually helping us do them and facilitating it. And that's what's different about us. So go ahead, Ashfaq, take over. And here's what I'd like to do is the people who've been waiting, let's talk with them.
Yes.
And then when we have that, I'd like to go into the agenda with the video that Rakesh made and then move through the show, okay?
Yes. So Pat, do you want to say anything, like, or do you want to share your ideas or thoughts, like what you just heard from all the people in the room?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I'm just glad to hear it. I already said that I would be glad to work on emails
Okay.
if I could. And I'm just trying to get into what this process is going to be right now.
All right.
Where we're
So
going.
we can see Lisa just joined us. Hey, Lisa, welcome. Jill, do you want to come in and speak up?
Yeah, hi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Hey,
Cool.
Jill.
Hi, hey. So, I mean, obviously listening and so on, but like you said, it's action. And I think that comes in all different sorts of directions, and we've got to be ready for it and on it when it's coming. And one of the things I've done and have sent forward, is, Rakesh has just said he's got my emails. So I've got a petition going because the King and Queen of the UK are coming to the US on the 27th of April. Our King will be addressing Congress whilst Andrew, his brother, refuses to stand before it. They're coming on a diplomatic visit. They will not be meeting with survivors because of ongoing investigations, but they're happy to meet and have political meetings with one of the most potentially alleged perpetrators of what's happening or what is being uncovered within the Epstein files. And it's an utter disgrace. I can't wrap my head round that symbolic gesture and all the pomp, that will come with. So I've put a petition together on change.org, and I've done some cover emails ready for the guys to take a look at. I've done 5 different versions in case of different audiences and, who may need what. So, and what people think it is more appropriate. So they're already there. The other idea I wanted to float might not now be the time, but I think we could choose certain days and times when on every social media platform we change our pictures, if we're comfortable, to when we were girls or young women, to show that collective impact of our vulnerability at those ages and how any one of those survivors could have been us. And I think
So Jill, I would like, so the presentation that I'm going to give today as our platform is evolving will address that, but I'm going to say something ahead of that. I spoke to you last week and I told you I would support at least putting that petition up in front of everybody. And honestly, I don't think there's really anything contentious or that needs to be questioned about that. I would like to sign that petition. So
brilliant.
you're gonna
Brilliant.
you're gonna hear me talk about a process, but I'm kind of okay right now as we're getting our ducks in a row and figuring out how we're going to do this. I really feel okay with putting what you're talking about up front to people without it needing to go through the process we're creating. So
That would be
just hang tight.
amazing. Thank you,
Yeah, hang
Joel.
tight.
Thank you.
And at the end of this, I want to make sure that we discuss what you're talking about. So we'll go from there.
I'm
There
not
was a
going
gentleman.
anywhere.
All right.
Okay.
I actually
Any,
signed the petition, Jill. So, and I also shared it on my Substack. So, and we will do some more promotion from IOB Nations as well. So I think I can see Peter just joined us. Welcome, Peter.
yeah. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to bring Peter in, and then I'd like to go into our show, into the agenda that I've got.
We
Okay.
also have Lisa. Don't forget about Lisa.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah, there's
Peter
some-
and Lisa, let's talk to them, and then we'll roll into that, and we'll keep it there. Peter, how are you? Welcome.
Well, thank you for having me. Yeah, welcome too. Thank you.
Where are you from?
You talking to Peter?
Oh yeah.
Okay, Montreal.
Oh my God, Peter, I am dead serious. I have been really dying to engage with someone from Canada. I have some really interesting things I'd like to discuss with you. And maybe we could do it in front of everybody towards the end of the show if you'd be open to that.
I'm open.
But
Sure.
so how did you hear about us? How did you end up here?
I'm on the podcast. But I follow Charlie Angus. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he's
not.
on the Charlie Angus.
Charlie Angus. Okay, so I actually shared it in Charlie Angus, so that's how probably Peter got in here.
Yes, yes.
Do you
So
do you know
I'm
anything
always,
about us?
No, but I know. Well, I would hope that you're like-minded, and I'll get to know you.
Okay. So let's bring Lisa in,
Yes.
and then you'll get kind of my broad overview of a bunch of things, and you'll be able to see it. And then I would really like to engage with you after that, and get your impression of things if you're up for that.
Absolutely.
Okay, Lisa, come on in and tell us what's going on.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi. I'm sorry, I don't know your name. Who are you?
Well, I'm Joel. So
This
I'm
is
the
Ashfaq.
founder of IOD Nations. Ashfaq up there Ashfaq has been working with me on this crazy project off and on for 10 years.
Okay.
And then you have Deborah. Do you know Deborah? Deborah is
Oh, of
heading up
course.
the online. Okay. And then the guy you can't see back there who's up with a mountain behind him, that's our agent of peace, Draco.
Hi.
We also have Rakesh on the team. He works as a project manager. So,
Hi.
Lisa, we actually talked probably on our last Zoom, live show. I don't remember exactly. Maybe it could be before that.
Right.
We know about the LC, silence is complicity. And I can see your message that something important is happening, high intelligence that you want to share. So,
So does anyone have access to somebody out of the country or higher up, like a Steve Schmidt, who I can give some things that I found? I have a really good Claude program that digs into political people like Teal and Rubio and Susie Wiles. And it came up with some information on their donors, and I was going to write an article or share that, share donor information. But when those people came up, I'm like, oh, I probably don't want to share that information because they're not good people, right? I live by myself. So do you know anybody that I can pass that along to?
you can
There-
pass
What-
it us. I mean, I am from Bangladesh. The whole team is from Bangladesh, except Joel. He's from United States. We have some people like Peter just joined in from Canada. So we actually
I
have
think
some people from around the world, and we can probably help you out. So
Can you get that information to somebody who can pass it along to somebody who can use it against them? Because that's what obviously I think should happen. Like Steve Schmidt would plaster their donor information all over the place, right? I would hope something like that.
Yeah, Lisa, this is you are exactly where we are at these beginning stages, right? So just as you're sitting there with that information, I'm sitting here with the information that I want you to understand, I'm talking about how we're mutually trying to do the same things. I'm not trying to prioritize one thing above the other, okay? But what you're talking about is right along the lines of what I'm talking about, which is Greg, I really want to talk to you about that. We're trying to get access to one influencer, right? One
like
major
Dean Blundell
politician,
even, or Zev Shalev, they would be helpful.
This is it, whoever it is.
I wrote to Zev, and I've been following The Greatest Heist, and
Me
all
too.
of his chapters. He is amazing, and he would be a wonderful contact person. I would certainly, if you want to write to me at Assemblywoman Deborah Mazzarelli,
right?
Maybe I could just give you my phone number and we could talk personally about what you're talking about, because I don't want to say who the people are that I know that are higher up than Assembly, but I do know people who are people of influence. So politicians that I would trust, politicians that I would not trust.
Exactly.
So I would certainly like to help you in that regard. If you would go on my Substack, just put your name down, and I will call you or give you my phone number to call me, if that's good with you.
Yeah,
because I think it's sensitive information that I would personally not like to get out there myself either.
Right, me too. And so we do DM each other. So give me your info on my DM, and I'd be happy to talk with you about it. But yeah, I wanted to get into the right hands, and I can't write about it because I wouldn't be safe. I don't feel I would be safe.
Okay. Okay. Well, my DM would be, I guess it's just visiting. Oh, you have it. Okay, great. Okay, great. Okay. Then I look forward to hearing from you. And I am going to be leaving this meeting. So, Ashfaq, if anybody wants to talk to me, can you just give my address out?
Oh, sure.
Thank you.
Definitely redirect it to you.
Thank you very much. Okay, everybody have a great day.
You too.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Deborah.
Thank you.
Everybody, I have to leave
Okay.
too.
Okay, Lisa.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome.
All right. Take care. Okay, guys, we're going to roll into our main meeting. And so it's going to start with sort of some basic rules of the road, if you will. And Rakesh, who works with us, made up like a short, I think it's like less than a minute video that kind of explains some basics on how we're going to move ahead. So Rakesh, if you have that ready, you can go ahead and share it on the screen and play it for everybody. I would appreciate that.
Welcome to IOD Nations Live. Before we get started, here are a few ground rules that keep this space safe, respectful, and powerful for everyone. Number 1, respect every participant, no exceptions. Number 2, raise your hand in Zoom before speaking. Wait for the host to call on you. Number 3, mute yourself when you are not speaking. Number 4, one person speaks at a time, no interrupting. Number 5, stay on topic. Keep it relevant. Number 6, no hate speech, no harmful language, 0 tolerance. Number 7, host have final authority. If they step in, that decision is final. And number 8, come with good faith. We are all here for the same reason, to build citizen-led democracy together. These rules exist to protect every voice in this room. Respect them, and let's build something extraordinary together. Welcome to IOD Nations.
Wow, thanks so much, Rakesh. This is just part of our evolution of growing and moving forward. So I'm going to outline where we are in general. You are at a live feed, a live chat for iodnations.org, International Online Democratic Nations. It's an idea that I've been working on for 10 years. You can visit the website, iodnations.org. There's a book there. It's called The Recipe. If you could tap your screen 3 times to save Ukraine and world democracy, would you do it? And then there's a really interesting, it may not be a really great read, but the depth and the understanding of my conversation with AI about online citizen-led democracy is really revealing. You know, AI is a magic tool if you know how to use it and you ask it the right questions. So I would encourage anybody who wants to learn more to read the book or read the manifesto. We are going to be trying to put them together in a short synopsis soon. In case you didn't know, Rakesh, that was just assigned to you. So then we're gonna move forward. We're here to unite people. For instance, Deborah's working with women, and that their objective is to become ultimately the international online democratic women's nation. Okay, and all of this is based upon the best way I've been able to explain it to people is if a business no longer requires brick and mortar, then a nation no longer requires land and borders. And the way I try to explain that to people is I'm an old guy. I'm in my 60s. When I grew up, a shopping cart had wheels, didn't even have plastic shopping carts, right? And that's what a shopping cart was. And now if you ask people what a shopping cart is, they might even refer to what they see online as being a shopping cart first before one on wheels. When we talk about a nation, the way we always see a nation is land and borders and the citizens within those land and borders. And throughout history, those citizens have developed their own culture and their own national identity, but they also have to fight to protect those borders, and they have to fight to protect those natural resources, and their nation is restricted to those. An online democratic women's nation, or here we go. Imagine this. Imagine an online democratic Canadian nation. Imagine if all of the citizens of Canada, or a large number of them, in Taiwan, 50% of their citizens have united online. Okay. Imagine if 50% of Canadian citizens were united online democratically. Imagine the power and influence they could have over their government, but also over the world. And then imagine what happens when Denmark joins them, and Ukraine joins them, and Australia joins them. And we have all of these online democratic nations led by citizens. You get a parallel online government of citizen-led democracy that directly engages with their existing government, but operates completely independent and by the citizens. You get the best of both worlds. They can develop their power and influence over their government, but they can also operate independently and protect their government, right? If the citizens of Canada impose a boycott on China, right? You can't come back to the Canadian government for that, because then they'll impose sanctions on the Canadian government. And so the Canadian government has to be careful, because that could really damage the economy. But if the citizens of Canada are working with the citizens of Denmark and the citizens of Europe and the citizens of Australia and the citizens of Japan, and they all impose these sanctions, you cannot attack with a military or with sanctions those online democracies. And so that's the whole point. Now, when we talk about integrating with government, how does that happen? You can do some research on the sunflower movement in Taiwan. You can see in the notes here, Taiwan now, since 2014, the citizens of Taiwan now have a 70% approval rating of their government. Before they were working together online, they approved of their government by 9%. So this isn't pie in the sky, okay? Uniting as nations online is different, but integrating with your government, with the citizens online, it's being done. Munich's looking at it. Barcelona does it with an app called Decidim. So we're not, this is not new shit that doesn't work. This is happening and it's working. So we've begun this very elementary beginning process of this. And we're going to share that in a moment. Ashfaq is going to share it. But I want to send a message to anyone out there who would like to work with us. We are iodnations.org, and we will work with groups. We need to work with groups like Lisa was talking about, trying to reach some influential people, or Deborah mentioned these groups of men. And Greg, I really want to talk to you about that. We will work with anybody. But if you want to work with us and be with us in this umbrella of online citizen-led democracy, if you're going to work with us, you have to support us. I have a saying that says, if you're not pro-democracy, then you aren't pro-democracy. And if you're not pro-IOD nations, then you aren't pro-IOD nations. So we're interested in working with everybody, but we're setting standards for what it means to be engaged with us and to work with us, and the integrity of being pro-freedom and democracy, what that takes. And so we ask you to respect that and support us if you're working with us. So Ashfaq, go ahead and give us a presentation on what you've been working on. And everybody, this is so damn cool. We are so excited to share this with you.
All right, before I do that, I would like to, so Janet joined us and in the Zoom, and I want to know if she wants to jump in and say a few words, or let us know what we just heard, what she thinks about it, and So Janet, if you can hear us, you can come in and talk to us. Okay, I can see your camera just turned on. Can you hear us?
Yes, and I just happened to run by and hear, and I thought it was interesting, so I just jumped on because I wanted to see what it was about.
Okay, it
Well,
is
cool.
Yeah, go ahead, Joel.
Well, cool. We're really happy to have you here, and hopefully what you just heard explained part of it, and then Ashfaq's going to roll out what he worked on. And when we get done with that part of the presentation, if you have any questions, we're going to open things up. We don't charge people to be here and comment. We don't charge people in order for them to be able to come in here. We're here for only one reason. We believe that the more people who unite democratically online, the stronger, more vibrant, powerful, and influential democracy becomes. And we're not going to charge people to try and get them to join that. So take it away, Ashfaq.
All right. So a lot of people here already knows about IOT Nations. Who doesn't know a lot about it? I'm just gonna say a few words. Like, we are trying to establish citizen-led online democracy throughout the world, and we have built a few tools for that. So I'm just gonna like jump into that right away, because we just launched it today. It was, a prototype for quite some time, and I realized we need to like put it out there so that people can actually do something, take actions and stuff. So can you guys see my screen? Joel, can you see my screen?
Yep, you're doing great.
All right, so if you come to IOT Nations and scroll down, you'll see something called Civic Action. We are going to change the name or title, maybe. So for now, this is how it looks. You can sign in, or you can join as a guest. So I'm just going to sign in to show you how it's going to work. Okay, so you don't need to type in your ID or password. You can just simply log in with Google. And when you log in, you will see this page where you can actually take some actions. Okay, so for example, we have a few things. Okay, so let's take a look at the first one: forceful unredacted release of the Epstein file. The act is law, but files are still redacted. Demand full unredacted release and passage of Virginia's law. Okay, so if you click on it, you can see more details, like how many votes we have got on that particular issue, the goals, how many people we need, and the status, if it's ongoing, or something coming in the future, or maybe already in the past. Then you have a little bit of context of what's going on. Then you have a few links or sources to verify if whatever it is saying that it is verifiable or not. And then you have your voting options here. Okay, so for example, I'm just going to do yes, and I already voted. So it's saying you already participated on this matter, so I cannot do. I mean, a person can only do one voting. Okay, they cannot change it. So we actually need to discuss whether we should give people that option to change their vote if they want. But that's a discussion for another day. So I'm going to hit the back button and come to another item from here. Okay, the second thing we have is a petition, anti-corruption. Sign this petition, ban stock trading for Congress. So actually, these are, these are some pressing issues, but these did not came from a real human being. I mean, I kind of, tried to find out the pressing stuff and put it in there. So we actually did something amazing, which is I'm going to show you right now. So the main problem with government or whatever systems we have is a one-way communication. We couldn't, if we need to talk to government, we have to go through a leader, and so many, it's a vicious cycle. So what we did here is we put something called your ideas. If you scroll down, you can also see here, it says, there's no idea here yet, but you can be the first one to drop your ideas, or you can come and click on this button, and you'll have an option to share your idea. And actually, it is connected with AI. So AI will take your data, analyze it, understand it. If you you are just spamming or putting vulgar stuff, the AI will automatically filter it out. If it's really pressing, AI will understand it and put it on the front so that more people can take a look at it. Okay, so that's one of the new stuff. And I wanted to show you something. So let's say I haven't participated on this. So let's participate on this one. Okay. So if we click on this button, it will open my Gmail or whatever email I'm using from my phone, and it'll have all the message written automatically. You just hit the send button to support it. Okay. And when you do take an action, you have this results page where you can actually see how many participants participated. For some reason, countries are not popping up, but I guess it'll pop up later. You can see which countries people are taking actions here. You have some other details where you can see the progress and how many emails we send and all that kind of stuff. Okay, you can then we also made a social network. I mean, it was prototype. It is still prototype, but I developed it a bit further. So if you just click meet like-minded citizens, chat, organize, build together on our social network. So if you click on this button, it will take you to this social network website that we built for people. So lots of people have been telling that they don't want to use Facebook or any other social media. So we built one. Some people like Joanne, Dr. Jesnil, and lots of other people joined in here, but not a lot is going here right now. So let me actually go back to the civic action or digital democracy app. Okay. Then you also have a few buttons to share it in WhatsApp, Facebook, X, or just copy the link to share it with friends. Okay. So that's the second thing. And then you have a profile. You can actually see how many actions you have taken, how many ideas you have shared, and how many times you have shared this app with your friends and family. So you can
Can I cut in there for a minute, Ashfaq?
yeah, I'm just done, man. I just need to explain this four thing, and we are
okay.
So if you click on the profile from the below, it will take you to your profile. You can come in to go to our social network. You can come in to read the manifesto book that Joel wrote. Also, there's another book Joel wrote called The Recipe. You can also read about that or learn more about Arab nations. So if you want to sign out, just click the sign out button and we're here. So that's all, Joel. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. You can, take it from me. And
so, first of all, just what a phenomenal job, Ashfaq. I mean, he's done the majority of this on his own without even that much input, and you can see we're at the beginning stages of this, but the possibilities of what can happen here. I mean, I tried desperately to get, if you're familiar with the No Kings March, I tried desperately to get them to what I wanted to have happen is I wanted them to stand up on the stage at every No Kings and say, everybody pick up your phone. Now you could put in an email address for NATO or the UN or for us at IOD Nations or to Deborah at the women's movement part of this. We need to kind of pick one or two locations, but imagine this. If millions of people had just sent an email from that No Kings March, I hate going to these protests and not actually accomplishing something. And if somebody had said, hey, here's the email address for NATO, we want everyone here to send NATO a message that says, I would like to be officially recognized as an online democratic world citizen. And NATO had awakened, and they had 1 million or 3 million emails from people who said, I want to be an online democratic citizen of the world, and I want to be officially recognized. We would have changed the whole power structures of the world. Okay, I know it sounds like hyperbole. And I'm not going to go full on into this. You can go back and look at some of my other shows or the other videos that are pretty rough, but we don't access the internet. We grant platforms like a Facebook or a Substack or a Zoom or whatever it is. They exist. They are platforms in this virtual world that surrounds our planet, but they don't get access to us unless we give it to them. We are the internet, and without us, they ain't shit. Okay? If you had those million or a couple million or even more people united online, all they have to do is collaborate on a mission. You could literally silence any city, any corporation, any social media platform. We control all of that if we unite democratically. And democratically is this common thread that I think people want to unite around. And I'm going to talk about the platform that Ashfaq did in just a moment. But Draco, can you get ready to pull up? This one's for you, Peter. Do you know Simon Sinek? You can just nod your head. No, okay. So Simon Sinek is Canadian. He did a TED Talk that is the third most popular TED Talk, and I think it's the third. It's one of the most popular TED Talks in history. And so we're gonna share that with you. And it's about the first part is about leadership, but the second part of it that we're gonna share is about change, and it's called the law of diffusion of innovation. And it's how large groups of societies change. So take a watch of this, and then I'm going to try and bring this back and tie it into online citizen-led democracy. Go ahead and hit play, Draco.
Something called the law of diffusion of innovation. And if you don't know the law, you definitely know the terminology. The first 2.5% of our population are our innovators. The next 13.5% of our population are our early adopters. The next 34% are your early majority, your late majority, and your laggards. The only reason these people buy touch-tone phones is because you can't buy rotary phones anymore. We all sit at various places at various times on the scale, but what the law of diffusion of innovation tells us is that if you want mass market success or mass market acceptance of an idea, you cannot have it until you achieve this tipping point between 15 and 18% market penetration, and then the system tips. And I love asking businesses, what's your conversion on new business? And they love to tell you, oh, it's about 10%, proudly. Well, you can trip over 10% of the customers. We all have about 10% who just get it. That's how we describe them, right? That's like that gut feeling, oh, they just get it. The problem is, how do you find the ones that just get it before you're doing business with them versus the ones who don't get it? So it's this here, this little gap, that you have to close, as Geoffrey Moore calls it, crossing the chasm. Because you see, the early majority will not try something until someone else has tried it first. And these guys, the innovators and the early adopters, they're comfortable making those gut decisions. They're more comfortable making those intuitive decisions that are driven by what they believe about the world.
Go ahead and stop it there, Draco.
Available.
So everybody who's here related to online citizen-led democracy, we all fall at some point in the curve, the law of diffusion of innovation, okay? And so Lisa was here earlier and talking about how she wanted to reach a person of influence, right? Once you grow these online democracies, those people of influence, because we're all united democratically, they're right here. All you have to do is tap your screen and you get access to them. You want to cross the chasm? Let's say that Peter is part of the 50% of the online democratic Canadian nation, okay? And that group of citizens, they come in through Ashfaq's app and they put up a proposal for ranked choice voting, Okay. And everybody in Canada who's there, who's Democratic, they go, oh, ranked choice voting is what gets us out of a two-party system. It really allows new ideas and coalitions to work together and all this. We're for it. Well, if you have done that on a platform where it's pro-democracy and everybody agrees, you freaking crossed the chasm and you're into the early majority at the tap of a screen. If you open this thing up on your online platform and immediately you get 100,000 people who say, I want ranked choice voting, boom, it's like this. And you can create the structure and you can implement it at the tap of a mouse. And so what happens is when you unite online, that whole law of diffusion of innovation and that curve of adopting new ideas, it's now changed, right? It's available to us at the tap of our mouse, as long as these threads, like being pro-democracy or women having, positions of leadership in government, like Iceland did, where they mandated that for 50% of the population. And if you have 50% of the online, or the citizens of Canada who are uniting with their government online, they all of a sudden they're looking at their politicians and they're saying, hey, we're doing ranked choice voting in our online nation. We want it in our regular nation. And we're 50% of the population. Let's make this shit happen. We don't need to go through all this rigmarole and all this crap. There's other countries and states. Ranked choice voting is out there. They know how it works. It's not at the snap of a fingers, but compared to what we think of, it's right there. And this is the essence of what happens if we unite online. So we're here to invite all kinds of people to come in. We're small, but we're mighty. We're going to do it with online campaigns. Deborah, who's not here right now, is working with a contingent of women that's growing all the time. They have their online suffragette Saturdays. Okay, so at 11 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, these women are meeting, and Deborah's mission is to get those Epstein files. And I had done an article about how to email the attorneys of the Epstein victims, and these ladies are taking that and they're going to blow it up. They're going to make it better than I would have ever made it, right? And that's their driving force right now. Now that we have this platform, we're going to try and get them all into the platform, integrated in there and help us develop it and use it. And so I guess at this point, Ashfaq, what I'm going to ask you to do is go ahead and start administrating this. So basically, here's sort of the guidelines we're going to work with. Anybody who wants to talk, I think we will get you into the group. Ashfaq's going to kind of manage that. You can come up and ask some questions. Well, if you have something particular you want to talk about, we're definitely going to come back and talk to Jill about her petition, because I'm going to sign it, and I'm going to encourage anyone here who can help sign that. But let's begin the process and see what people think. So I'm going to open it to.
Yeah. Before we open it, I just want to let people know that we are still going live, and if you want to join the conversation, somebody will drop the Zoom link, or you can drop your email address and we will invite you so that you can be here, talk to us, and talk to the world. So let's start with Peter. I'm really eager to hear from you what you just saw and what you just heard. Tell us what you think.
Well, first of all, I'm impressed with the website. It's incredible. It's beautiful.
Thank you so much. Okay.
And it's always, I always find it enjoyable talking with like-minded people, especially about democracy, especially this day and age. I mean, I was brought up in the 60s, And it wasn't like that. And not that I want to go back there, but I mean, it was there were certain rules, a just society, well, so what we perceive. So talking with you guys and listening to the concept, it's something like the Matrix. It would be great. I mean, it's
we
incredible.
have a video that's made for that, Peter, about the Matrix.
My favorite movie.
No way.
Yeah, one of my favorite movies too.
Before you continue, hey, Draco, can you scare up that clip and bring it in? Not, we'll let Peter finish, but I'd love to share that. Go ahead, Peter. Keep going.
Yeah.
So, talking with like-minded people and getting back on track, hopefully, with the new technologies. I mean, I'm so far out of it. I love the potential. I don't understand how it works. And if you could, I think you guys are very brave to begin with. I mean, to start something like this, because there's a lot of people that's going to try and stop you. But to have all those people accessible, like you said, with a mouse, it's exciting.
Yeah. So, oh, damn it. Oh, I got to tell you a story about Canada. Okay. And this is an amazing story for everybody here. So I worked in a bike shop, and I was in the bike shop one day working, and this family of 4 came in, and they were all there. They were buying 4 helmets, and they were American, but they had been living in Canada for 4 or 5 years, and now they were coming back to America. And when they packed up to move and leave and everything, they just didn't have room or make room for their bicycle helmets. And so I was talking to them about it, and they told me this story about when they first moved to Canada, and they took the family out on a bike ride. And so they're out riding down the road, and they said they're riding, and every car that passed them was like honking or waving or something like that. And they were just thinking to themselves, oh my God, these Canadians are just so friendly and they're so nice and all of this. And then someone went by and honked and was tapping their head. And they're looking at each other and they're thinking, why are they tapping their head? What's going on? And then finally this car came up, and they pulled up, and they really nicely and politely said, hey, you forgot your helmets. And they're sitting there and they're thinking, well, why are all these Canadians so concerned about helmets? And they went back home, and they were talking to somebody, and somebody said, well, we have universal health care. And if people are riding around on bikes without helmets, then every time they get head injuries, our healthcare system has to pay for that. And we don't want people to get injured, and everybody doesn't want to pay for their medical bills because they didn't want to wear a helmet. And it was so ingrained in the Canadian society that that's how they lived it. That's how they experienced it. Is that pretty cool, Peter?
It sounds like a Canadian thing. Yes, it sounds like a Canadian thing. But I mean, we get our roots from the British.
Go ahead.
So
the French,
they're kind of staunch too. So we like our rules and regulations for a just society, and that's what's so disturbing now. Looking south, it's what happened. What happened? But
I'll tell you what happened is our democracy's failing. Yeah,
exactly.
But we're gonna take it back. So here, and then we're gonna come back and talk to Janet in a minute, and then we'll bring some other people in here. I know Jill wanted to come back in, I think. But here, so Ashfaq and I were having a conversation a while back, and he got into the Matrix thing. I've never even seen the movies, and he says, oh. He goes, this would be brilliant if we linked it to the Matrix. And so we made this little video. So watch this. I think you'll really enjoy it.
You should show it to Peter because it's his favorite movie, and he might hate you after watching this video.
Okay.
We just like to make fun of it, So go ahead. Draco, please.
This is our construct. A planet of continents, of land and borders. At least, that's what previous generations believe. This is our real construct. The trad world is now subservient to our virtual world. Welcome to the real world, Neo. A brave new international online democratic world. Buckle your seatbelt, Dorothy, because Elon is about to go bye-bye.
So, we do not access the internet. We filter their access to us. We are the internet. Holy shit, we can save Zelensky and Ukraine.
When the world's youth and others unite online, freedom, democracy, and the world's pro-democracy citizens will now rule the world. All that must occur is for people to send an email to NATO. Those emails comprise their online citizenship.
Could they save world democracy?
Once united online, by the millions, we are the cure.
So international online democracy is the new construct.
If they build it, I will come.
Very good.
So you're here to save the world.
No one has ever done anything like this.
That's why it's going to work.
All right, we can cut it there, Draco.
Yeah, that's enough, I guess.
What do you think, Peter?
Peter, you're on mute.
That's a 2 thumbs up and more. It's off the record there. That's fantastic, Michelle. It's very good, and it gives me goosebumps actually.
Really?
It's kind of a cool way of explaining it, isn't it?
It's perfect. It's perfect. Because
that's
this is
cool.
what
I'm glad we
take.
made you. It is, and the thing is, it's right here. It's right here. If they had asked the world to do that at the No Kings marches, I don't know what we're sitting here with. I'm sure we're up over 100 now. We'd be having these conversations with there would be multitudes of these conversations happening, and they would all have thousands or hundreds of thousands of people, and it would be changing the world. It literally will. It's going to happen. So, Janet, what did you think? We've got you on mute. You're on mute if you'd like to come in. And anyone else who wants to come in, just ask to be invited and we will bring you in.
Yes, actually, Jill, if you can hear us, we would love to hear from you again. You can come in and present your idea.
I thought that was it's Janet. I thought that was a fascinating, your healthcare story was a fascinating story. And definitely like the idea of uniting people. I'm not sure how we get past the NATO fees, but I do like the idea of the NATO fees. Normally,
Janet. Janet, yes? I'm gonna be a little bit rude here, okay? In a really assertive, positive way, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We are the goddamn internet. They are going to want us for free. Can you imagine a NATO where the citizens of all of these NATO nations are united online as the online democratic Ukraine nation and the online democratic Canadian nation and the online democratic English nation. Okay. They're not going to want our fees. We're going to create our own online democratic NATO led by these citizens that will work and collaborate with them, right? We are the internet. We have control over this right here. We're going to tell them what the fees are going to be eventually, right? This is about power and influence and how the citizens of the world can get it back. We live at this unique moment in history where I can't say we can solve them, but we can at least become powerful and influential at solving problems just by uniting online with a click or a tap. It's just that easy. It's such an amazing time to be alive, right? Um, it hurts me that I find it as challenging as it is to get people to understand and buy into it, but we're evolving. We're doing better every day, and more people are going to do it, and we hope that all of you will join us.
My fault for not thinking big enough.
It's not a fault. It's a your person. That's a great point. Your personality, your psychology might be an early majority or a late majority. I can tell you're not a laggard or you wouldn't be here right now. That does not mean that you're any different or worse from the innovators or the early adopters. It's just who you are. We're here for you no matter who you are, right? If you're a late adopter, just follow us, watch us. We're going to make it happen for you, right? We will create the time where you think big. This is not, it's not about who's better or what's better or any of that. It's you know what's really interesting, Peter, I just thought of this. The curve for the innovation is the matrix, right? It's its own matrix, and you can be anywhere on that matrix of adapting to change and all kinds of change. And that's just who you are. My sister is smart as hell. She's pro-democracy and all that. She's just so thrashed by everything that's going on. She doesn't have the emotional bandwidth, and she knows what I'm doing, but she's just not there yet. I still love her to death. And I know when she's here, she will be an influential, amazing voice for people to work with. I'll get it to the point where she feels comfortable and where some of the other people, I'm not going to get it to that point. You guys are going to get it to that point, right? You're going to come in and push me aside, and you're going to push Deborah aside, and young people are going to come in here and they're going to lead this thing. Peter and I aren't fit to run an online democratic nation. I can barely use my damn phone. This is a mission for people with more capabilities than I've got.
Well,
but
Joel, can I add a few things here? I mean, you
are,
like something that the senior citizen would feel powerless, but they are not. I mean, I can tell you they're the most powerful demography in the entire ecosystem because they are more knowledgeable. They have all the experience, they have lived through, and we, the young people, we don't have that, so we need that. We all need to work together, right?
We all need each other. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So, Peter, what's your thought? Like, I would love to
If
hear
I may just,
from you.
if I may just add this, in recent, I think it started in last, I think April or May. If you want to see a movement that just happened in between the population, had no government assistance or no podcaster or no influencer, just look at the trade now between the vacations, people not going to the United States, and that was only handled within the population. That we decided enough was enough. Could you imagine if we had a platform like this?
Yes.
This is incredible. So movements are moved by people, not by governments or groups. They're moved by people, a lot of people. They're like-minded, and it's incredible.
Imagine if we could get in a podcast or someone from that Canadian movement, because it's not only about the vacation and the travel. The Canadians also did it for labeling what products in their stores are US, and they mark them specifically. We don't want to buy US products, right? And here's the brilliance of this, or there's just so many layers to it, right? So you've got the aspect. This is one of the reasons why I'm excited to have you here, is imagine if we could get to someone in that movement who helped create that. And there was a video where we did a podcast with them. I could see it where a day or two later or a week later, you could have hundreds of thousands of Canadians who were forming their own online Democratic Canada, right? And the minute Canada does it, right, Greenland's going to go, well, shit, we want to work with you, right? And Iceland and Denmark. Once one country does it, it's going to pop. And but here's this other thing that I would say to everyone here who's from the United States. I don't know how much you follow what's going on, but is Carney, is he a prime minister? Is that his position? Is that his title?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So the Prime Minister of Canada is traveling around the world. He is literally taking the world leadership position for freedom and democracy away from the United States, or the United States gave that to him and forced him to do that for the benefit of the Canadian people. And they're creating agricultural agreements, shipping agreements, rare earth metals agreements, lumber agreements, aluminum agreements. All of these things are being created right now, and the U.S. economy is being left out of this. And it's our economy, every economy right now is about to get hit really hard, really, really hard. And we're not going to recover the way we have in the past if we've given up our alliances in agriculture and manufacturing and rare earth and shipping. Who the hell are we going to go do business with? Russia and North Korea and Iran and China? That's not who we want to do business with. And we have to unite online and reach out to the people of Canada and take control of our government back and find ways to not lose all of these economic relationships. Because if we don't, these guys are going to screw us even worse than they have already. So this is a matter of the citizens of the world uniting and accepting responsibility. You know, democracy is a contact sport, and we've got to start getting in the game. That's my thoughts, some of my thoughts.
So I just want to urge Peter and Janet, if you liked what you heard, if you like the idea, come visit IOD Nation, IOD, NATIONS, nations.org. Check it out. It's not for a specific demography. It's for the entire world to use it, experience it, and maybe establish citizen-led democracy in your country. Share it with your friends and family who you care about.
Definitely.
And that's how we grow, right?
Definitely. I'll let Debbie go first, or Janet go first.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's definitely, I would definitely love to see some sort of a citizen-led democracy, because it is certainly a way to unite people and to be able to unite people between different countries.
Yeah. So we're gonna, anyone who's in the chat here that wants to come in
came
and
back in the Zoom call. She's here. You can talk to her if you want.
I'm sorry, who was it?
Jill Baxter.
Okay. Jill,
Hiya.
how are you? Oh, sorry. So what do you think of that presentation?
I was blown away, absolutely blown away. That video, it sort of, look, I think Peter said gave him goosebumps, but it sort of actually brought tears to my eyes as well, because I think it was so powerful, and it's speaking. I mean, I'm probably the generation after Peter and yourself. So, sort of that middle ground area, but I can see how that would hook in younger people as well as more mature people. I just want to say to Janet as well, one of the things that I think makes a really great person is self-reflection. And the way you introduced yourself was self-reflective. And to me, they're the real people of this world. If you can't be inward looking, then you have no business really with anybody else. And I think that really sort of resonated with me. So don't downplay that. It's a good thing and it's powerful. That's what makes a difference to all of us. We all learn. I'm learning now. This whole concept of the boundaries that are just not there if we're online. That noise can't be stopped. And actually, it made me think wider. So I'd thought of us, doing something online at certain times and days where we all change our pictures as women to when we were young women or girls. But actually,
I just
watching
think
that
that's
video, I think watching that video, any man could change their picture to themselves as a child, because that's what this wasn't just women and girls. There were boys, young boys.
Yes.
So
Yeah, there's a
actually,
veteran
it's a
who's very
collective.
vocal.
Absolutely, there is a collective, and I think on that bit we need to unite with them as well, and show that vulnerability to the arseholes of the Musks of this world, that's what they're doing, and the world is letting them. And these social media platforms that don't safeguard our younger people and children have no place having the amount of money that they are constantly regurgitating by overtaking those things. And I just think that could be a real powerful message that's immediately visible. But yeah, the other thing was the petition. So King and Queen are coming.
Hey,
Yeah,
Jill, I'm gonna
nope,
come back to that
yep,
at the end if that's okay.
fine. I'll be quiet now then.
No worries at all. I want to
Thank
do
you.
that at the end because I want that to be a focus that gets direct attention at the end without much between it.
Thanks, Jill.
I'm gonna do one thing here. Hey Draco, the video of me at the board where it was like at, I don't know what it was, 16 minutes or something like that. Can you pull that up? So for everybody who's here, this is me. I'm not technologically savvy, and I'm just me. Okay. But this is me doing a really rough video, but trying to explain what this online internet world is. Try to give it a visual representation. I get a little bit passionate about it, so I hope you can all understand it. And it's kind of a rough video, but I think the explanation will help shine a light on what we're talking about even more. Go for it, Draco. You know where I want to go, right? I don't want to acquire Spotify or whoever it is. Okay. Go back just a little bit. Can you go back about a minute or two? Not a very valuable company. And so what we're going to do is we're going to do what the business world does all the time, and all these wealthy. Can you pause that? Do all the time. Okay. So what you're looking at here is me trying to draw planet Earth. Okay. So the center circle is planet Earth. Those are continents in between it. Now, the big circle you see on the outside, that's the virtual world. And then those circles that are inside between planet Earth and the containment of the virtual world of the internet, those are entities. They're like social medias. They're like Facebook or Twitter, but they're also corporations. They're also very wealthy and powerful entities that are dominating the internet. And so what I'm talking about here is how we switch that domination and how easy it is to switch that domination and what it looks like when you do it. So again, this is really rough, but go ahead and hit play, Draco. We're going to execute either a friendly or a hostile takeover. We're not, maybe Facebook, the International Online Democratic Art Nation, is going to decide that they want to collaborate with the International Online Democratic Technology Nation. And they don't want to acquire Spotify or whoever it is. Okay. That's their prerogative. Those nations are going to come up with this. I'm not up here telling people how things have to work, right? What IOD Nations is doing and what we're trying to explain to people is the minute you realize we are the internet. Without us, you ain't shit. We are the internet. Without us, you ain't shit. We are the internet. Without us, you ain't shit. Okay? The minute we do that, we now have dominion. Okay? So now what happens is we come in and we dominate all of this internet space. And why are we able to dominate it? Because it's us. We are self-determinate human beings. We can collaborate with each other. We can establish these nations. They can determine their own Bill of Rights and their declarations of independence and their constitutions and their voting structures. If the International Online Democratic Women's Nation wants to adopt ranked choice voting, they put it up for a vote and they do it. Okay. If the International Online BIPOC Nation wants to get together and they want to collaborate with the International Online Education Democratic Education Nation, and they want to put together a whole online education system that benefits the Black, Indigenous, and people of color across the world, they get to do that because it's their fucking nation. Okay? It's not the assholes in red who are trying to obtain dominion over us. And so that is a preliminary kind of an introduction to what the power and potential of international online or national online citizen-led democracy can be. Now, I'll close this out on this. So you say, how do you get those people to organize, right? Now, like I said, I've been trying for 10 years to get people to think about and understand this. And the thing you need to understand is this. Or this, okay? A mouse and a phone. This is like a nuclear dirty bomb, okay? And this is like a nuclear ballistic rocket, all right? Because any citizen in the world can simply send a text message or an email, and if they all send it to the same location, they're all united there. And if they collaborate there democratically and they call themselves a nation, they are an international online democratic women's nation. So we want the women of the world to found the International Online Democratic Women's Nation, okay? But Ukraine, the women of Ukraine can participate in that. Right now in the world, Ukraine can't get into NATO because Hungary's blocking them, because Putin is putting pressure on Hungary, because China is funding Putin to do that so that they can expand communism across the world, right? That's what's going on right now, right? China is funding these wars to weaken democracy and spread communism. That's the reality of the situation, okay? But you could just have 1 billion people, or you could start with 1,000. You could start with 100. We're going to be doing it. We do it after every show in our live feeds. We're starting to send emails, okay? And send it to NATO, and all you have to say is, hi, NATO, I'd like to become a registered online democratic citizen with NATO. And we would like you to publicly announce that you are endorsing the creation and expansion of online citizen-led democracies. Okay? Now, Ukraine unites online. They get a bunch of their citizens to unite online, and NATO gives them recognition. But not only does NATO give them recognition, Ukraine says, by the way, we want to establish an online NATO or an online UN, and we want to be the founding online democratic citizen-led nation that does that. So now all of a sudden, you have not just all the traditional nations or all the NATO nations, but you have all of these online democratic nations that are uniting, and Ukraine is one of the first who did it, okay? And I'm going to leave you with this. This is one of the most important points. There are so many important factors, but what are some of the primary fundamental differences between online democratic nations and traditional land and borders based nations? Okay, what do you think might be like some of the fucking extraordinary differences that happen? Here's one of the most important ones, if not the most important one. These virtual nations that are established, they don't have land and borders. You cannot attack them with the military. And they are not a part of the existing governance of Ukraine, for instance. The online democratic citizens of Ukraine, they operate independently. They operate in conjunction with all of the other international or national online democratic nations. Okay? So if they collaborate and do something, you can't attack them with the military. It changes the power dynamics of the world. It fucking disrupts the industrial military complex, okay, which is already happening because the United States of America is getting shut out because we're now in alignment with the authoritarian fascists and communists of the world, right? And the rest of the free world is abandoning us. But if the online democratic citizens of Australia are starting to feel threatened by China, okay, they get all of these others, and maybe they impose their own sanctions or tariffs on China or Russia or Iran or North Korea or anybody who's fucking up world peace and starting wars like the United States is right now, okay? What happens is the pro-freedom and democracy citizens of the world now control the whole environment that envelopes the world, because we are the internet. Without us, they ain't shit. That's today's presentation. I hope that helps you understand the power and potential of online citizen-led democracy. And I hope that my artwork has just astounded you the way it does me. Thanks so much, and we look forward to seeing you on our next show. And maybe then I'll be able to figure out how to keep my face in the goddamn camera. And remember, make democracy offensive, not anonymous. Thanks, guys. All right. Sorry I'm so long-winded, but I am what I am. Does anybody want to come into the feed and talk before we close this show out and give Jill a chance to share a link to her petition?
All right, I think nobody's coming. So Jill, you
Okay.
can share the link.
Wait, hang on before Jill goes. So we have, can you guys throw up the email addresses, the one for Deborah and the one for IOD Nations? There's 2 email addresses here. You can email us to contact us. Peter, I don't know if you've left yet.
Yeah, Peter left.
Okay. Did we get an email or any contact from him?
Not really, but I hope he will come back.
Okay.
We got Janet's email, so I'm just gonna copy that.
Okay. So anyone else, we will put you into our email loop. Typically, we have people who come in and join us for 3 reasons. One is they just want to stay in touch and see what's going on. The second is they want to be involved in the email campaigns where we will be targeting different things, like Deborah with Online Suffragette Saturdays. They meet at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Okay. And that's the whole women's group. Peter, you're back. Make sure and give us some contact.
Yeah.
You can see there we have the 2 email addresses you can email to. So Deborah's mission and Deborah's primary strategy with emails is to try and involve the Epstein survivors through emailing the attorneys who represent them. But she can tell you more about how they're working and the specifics and what they're working on. We will be doing other stuff and other email campaigns if you email us. And so the second group of people will actually be a part of sending emails. The third group who join us, they want to become volunteers. So Janet may want to participate in outreach to bring more people in. She may want to do some outreach to see if we can fundraise. Whatever it is, if Janet has something that she's passionate about, or an email campaign she wants to arrange or be a part of, we will have an avenue as a volunteer that she can come in, or anyone else can come in. You can submit your idea. If it has enough support and we get it to a certain point, we'll make it happen. Okay. Or the people here will make it happen. Again, this isn't about me. This is about the community, these pro-democracy citizens. And so make sure and share your email, reach out to us, and then share us. Go into these other Substacks, because we're the only ones who are showing you a plan that can make a difference. So I'll leave it at that. Janet or whoever we have, Ashfaq, to close this thing out. And then Draco, we're going to ask you to.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We have Jill or Mel from United Kingdom. Jill, can you share the link so that we can share our screen and show our audience your petition? I personally signed it and it looked pretty amazing to me.
Hey.
Hey.
So I can't drop it in the main comments for some reason. I can only drop it in the invite that Rakesh sent. So it's in there. Can you lift it and put it into the main comments from there?
Okay. Let me see if I can find it out. Actually, if you can go to Substack and I'm ST Badhan on Substack, and I send you the Zoom link. You can drop the link in there. Let me write hello so that you know.
Yeah,
I see it.
I tell you, I am so rubbish with screens and so on. It's a nightmare. Hang on, here we go. Oh.
Okay.
Here it comes.
All right.
I just found it.
Yep. All right.
Got it?
Yes, I am going to share my screen with you. Open the link.
And I just want everybody to imagine here. Imagine if Jill was sharing this. It's kind of what Peter talked about earlier. Imagine if she was sharing this now and we had 1,000 or 10,000 people in here, and all of a sudden the monarchy got 1,000 or 50,000 or 100,000 emails that said the same thing. And they said, when you come to America, there's going to be people waiting for you.
Yeah.
The number of people you get and the way that they collaborate determines how powerful and influential they're going to be. And please share what we're doing. If you have any ideas, you'd like to see something different. I know I need to talk less, but there's so many people who come in every time, and they're once they learn the overall volume, how big this can become, it makes a difference. It inspires people. It makes them have hope again. And so I feel like it's so simple, but it needs all this explanation so much sometimes. We're going to try and put together some short videos that do a better job of that.
All right. So yeah, there are, I mean, it's pretty easy. You just come in here. Hang on, let me go back. You come in to this link. We will share it in one of our articles or from our Substack somehow, and you read what's here, the title, you understand what's going on here, and if you feel like, okay, I need to be a part of this, you just click the text, the next step, okay? And I already, signed up. I did signed it, but my support is not complete yet because I need to share it with some of my friends or donate a little bit of money. So you can do either one of those, and you're good to go. You just copy the link, or just open it, or click on the Facebook icon and just post it, so that people can write something, so that people understand what they're saying. And there we go. That's that. So, Jill, do you want to come in and say anything?
Yeah, I mean, if you want me to just sort of mention the petition to end with, so it's generally effectively urgent and getting even more urgent now.
Yep.
They're coming on the 27th, or due to come on the 27th. The petition explains, I won't go through loads of detail of it, but it explains why they shouldn't be going. Effectively, also, they are potential witnesses where Andrew is concerned, and they're having private diplomatic meetings with a man that doesn't even know what diplomacy is. you know, in the middle of a war and world chaos as well. But I wanted this to be more impactful, really, around the survivors, because they won't meet with the survivors because of the ongoing investigations, understandably. But then don't go and roll out a red carpet for one of the potential main perpetrators who will revel in the glory of that. So it needs pushing as much as possible. And I do believe these things make a difference, but we're not utilizing. And I think, you know, again, and I happened upon this on Saturday just accidentally, and that was more around with Deborah's group, which was fabulous. But today has also just made me really excited, and the power that literally is, as Joel did earlier, just held up a mouse, that the power that is in that hand. And actually the other thing for me is the inclusivity of it. So I'm quite disabled, well, very disabled actually. So I'm homebound much of the time unless I go to the doctors or hospital, etc. So online accessibility to me is everything, and to a huge amount of other disabled people who will, when we see these marches that just not accessible, or the